Hey seniors, Dr. Shing here. So now we are ready. You guys have done your proposal, part one of the SLE project, the Senior Legacy Experience, which, you guys did a great job. It's always fun to go through those. And now we are on to part two. So there are three parts, if you remember. The first part is your proposal. That's where you get the yeah, no, let's try again. Most of you at this point are in the yeah phase, which is great. The second part is the plan, which we're going to talk about here. And the third part is your presentation and, your presentation, basically, to sum it all up. And that is a video presentation. We will go into that later. But today, part two, the plan. Essentially, in a nutshell, what the plan is, it's a written plan that documents all the steps that you're going to implement to be successful with your SLE. Some of you have already done a good chunk of your SLE. Some of you haven't started at all. The idea here is with the plan, even if you have started it, that you're writing it, looking ahead, what you will do. So it's present tense, not past tense, essentially. So we want you to write that, and basically this is going to be done in Google Drive. It's going to be a Google document, and you are going to submit this to a form which I'll send out, and you are going to be turning this in, and we're going to go through the plans, and we will give you a pass or fail on this. And failure is just means we want you to circle back and do it again, and then we'll talk about the last part. So thank you, seniors. Here we go. Let's go through what this plan entails step by step. Okay, so here we go. This is going to be in Google Docs, and the first step is the project description. So each of these italicized headers are parts of your plan. So we want you to write a project description. You're going to write 3 paragraphs on the following questions. What is the overall purpose and description of your project? That's 1 paragraph. How is this related to your skills you've learned? That's another. And how are you passionate about this project? The next header is challenges. You will write 2 paragraphs that answer the following questions. What are the challenges you will face, and how will you overcome these challenges? Team support and resources. You'll write 2 paragraphs answering the following questions. Who is or are your mentors on or off campus? How will you gather support for this? And what resources will you need? The next one is 15 steps. So in bullet point form, we'd like you to list 15 steps that it will take to complete the project. Then promotion. How will you promote the event itself? And then finally, what are your goals and how will you measure your goal? So all those italicized headers are going to be your headers, so you need each one of those, and we'll give you a 3, 2, or 1 to determine if you did that correctly and if you can move on to the final stage, which is actually doing the SLE and then covering it with a video. The big thing is that when you're sharing this, you will write it. I would suggest copying the questions and pasting it into a Google document. And then answering as you go, and then erasing the questions after putting in the headers. But the key is that when you share this, it's essential that you share it to anyone with the link. Okay, so here, let me just show you. I'm going to copy some of these questions from the PDF, and I'm going to paste that into the Google Doc. Again, sorry, you saw in the video, you're going to put SLE Plan, and then you're going to put your name as the header. So basically, I pasted it in. Look, it kind of looks clunky here from a PDF form, but you get the gist. You could see the questions. I would separate it out. Project description would be your header. You want to make sure that that's 12-point font, Times New Roman format. But basically, use these questions here and just answer. So here, for example, the purpose of my plan is to, or the purpose of my SLE, I should have wrote, is to, ... So answer it that way in a Google document. So when you share, you're going to go down to the link, the get link. It says restricted only, people added. You're going to click on that and you're going to change it to anyone with a link. And the reason you're going to do that is because when you turn it into a form, you don't have to share a bunch of times to me or Mr. Wilson or Miss V or Mr. Land. You just make it public, basically. And then you'd copy that link. And in the form that I'm going to send out, you put it in there. There's going to be only a few questions. SLE title, your first name, your last name, and the link. Submit your link here. So that is how you're going to submit your plan. That's how you're going to do it. I'm going to email out the senior handbook again that details this. If you guys have any questions, you can always email me directly, and I'll send an email about the due date. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Have a great day. Go big, go pro, go now, and go Mustangs.